Hello and welcome to this webinar. My name is Daniel. I'm the Chief Sales Officer here at Pronestor. Beside my side is Kasper. He's our Chief Product Officer. Kasper is actually our founder. So that means you've been with the company now for 20 plus years, which is, of course, a very good thing for Pronestor. This means that Kasper has probably heard most of the use cases or most of the challenges our customers have experienced within this domain. Lately, Kasper has spent a lot of time on the hybrid workplace. And more precisely bridging, our products to how can we actually help our customers addressing challenges that stem from starting to implement a hybrid workplace. Today, we're going to focus mostly on the issue of which arise by having a situation where you partially work from the office and partially work from home or somewhere else. In relation to these issues, we want to focus on two subjects. The two subjects we're going to dive into are how we can help you to plan and manage your work week in a very efficient manner. So pretty much a cornerstone or fundamental issue that we've seen our customers face, or us also that we have experienced ourselves. The second issue relates to collaboration. So we want to help our customers in supporting and ensuring good collaboration. And if you focus on the first issue, how to help and plan and manage your work week, this creates a lot of transparency. We want to focus and deep dive into how this transparency can be utilized in supporting good collaboration within your organization. In relation to today, we hope to spend most of the time within our demo, within our product, Pronestor Workspace, which is our desk booking solution. So it's a lot about actually getting into the practical stuff of using a desk booking solution to address these two main themes. In relation to how we're going to use our time today, we're going to spend time in three different areas. So to begin with, we're going to have a short chat, and Kasper is going to highlight some of the challenges or maybe the goals that companies have had by utilizing and starting to use a desk booking solution. After that, we're going to jump into the demo, trying to be as concrete and as practical to connect these challenges to our product and how we address these issues. And lastly, we hope to have a little bit of time to answer questions which could arise throughout this session. And in relation to practicalities and questions, there should be a chat function in the right-hand side of your screen. The questions you're going to ask are going to be anonymous, so please just give it a go and send us as many questions as you have. And furthermore, in relation to practicalities, I can say that everybody should be muted. Is that correct? Great. And everybody's webcam should also be turned off on your side. So you can interact with us totally anonymously, and please do so. If we are not able to answer all questions today, you can also send them to us. I'm going to share an email with you later on, and we can address it if you want that. Okay, so let's deep dive and get started.
Sure.
Okay, great. Kasper, just to kick off, could you maybe shed some light on the challenges or the goals that companies have had in relation to, fixing some of these issues which come from going hybrid?
Yeah, sure. Please. So two of the major topics of the key holders in this whole workspace scenarios is of course the employee and as well as the company. For the employee, we want to make sure that they have access to a solution that is simple and quick for them to book their desk or book any desk in the office. It's a tool that they can easily plan their week in the office so they can show to their colleagues when they're expected to be in so they can ensure collaboration. And it's also about making sure that you don't rush into the office and no desk is available for you. From the company's point of view, it's about ensuring that the desk or the office is a great experience, that you have an outstanding office where there's enough desks and the desks are positioned so it makes sense for the teams working in the office. And of course, with this whole COVID-19, which we hopefully see the end of, there's still something that is so critical, ensuring that our employees feel safe about returning to the office. So some companies still have a max capacity on their office environment to really state that they are concerned and they take best care of their colleagues in the office. With this whole new office coming up, we will see that it will evolve. What we know today will change in a month or two. So having access to the data, the behavior in the system, and have access to, do we have enough desks? Do we see that people return to the office? Or do we have to do something differently in each of the floor, each building, or in the countries that you may have the workspace solution up and running?
Yeah, because I think that one thing we've seen all throughout, the customer base that we have within this area, but also experienced ourselves, is we learn as we go. So it's been really, really important to actually adjust a little bit as we go along. And suddenly some external factors have actually prompted us to adjust as well. And to be able to have this flexibility, it's important to have the option to dive into data as well.
Yes.
Okay, good. I think we could actually, get practical, so to speak.
Yeah.
So maybe we should dive into a demo mode.
Yeah, let's do that.
Where do you want to start, Kasper?
I will start by doing the demo from my mobile phone as an employee. How do I interact with the application? How does it work? How easy is it for me to get about the most common use cases that I have as an employee? So you should be able to probably see my mobile phone on the screen. And I have the application up and running. Please note that it can run from any mobile phone, from your desktop, from your PC, Mac, or whatever device that you have. So you can access from anywhere. I launched my Pronestor Workspace app, and it will instantly give me an idea of the bookings that I have throughout the week, which desks that have I booked, and it will also nudge me to book a desk if I have not booked a desk. Currently, I have come into the office, I have not booked a desk, so it will help me, book a desk for today. It will suggest the desk that I usually have. So
the one you actually book the most, pretty
yes.
much, in an order where you get the most booked one first and so forward.
Exactly.
Great.
So if I'm all good about that, I can just hit book today. And now the desk has been booked. And my colleagues will see that I have that book where I will be located in the company. And again, creating that awareness for my colleagues. If I were not to sit at the desk that I usually sit at, for instance, let's say I'm going on a different floor, I need to sit in a different neighborhood because I'm going to work with sales or marketing, I can go and say, find a desk. It will suggest the desk that I usually have. I can use filters to find a desk that fits my requirements. Now I'm a developer, I used to be a developer, so I like to have 2 monitors up and running. So I choose 2 screens, that's important for me. And it will instantly show the desks that fits those criteria. And when we have a bigger company, you can divide it up to different locations, city, or even countries where you can dig down to that specific desk that fulfills your requirements.
Great.
One of the other key aspects of booking a desk is also confirming a desk, announcing that now I actually use the desk, and which we are aware of with meeting rooms. Some companies want to have that you check into a meeting room to avoid ghost meetings, and the same option is possible for desks. So you confirm that you use the desk for that specific day. So having an idea on, do people actually use the desk that they have reserved, or do we need to address that issue somehow in the company to get better utilization of our desks?
Because it's a lot about when you get started, nudging people to, both show and illustrate there in the office, but also nudging people to get it to use the system. So some of these small things could actually be quite important when you kick off with using a tool such as a desk booking system.
Yes. The next use case that we see is common, and which we think is very important to get up and running is, planning your week. At least at home with my wife, I plan my week when I intend to go into the office. And the same for my colleagues, announcing to my colleagues, I'm coming on these specific days, and ensuring that I have a desk on those days. For that to be easily completed, within the app, I can choose book today. Then I'll do it again because I canceled it before. And then the quick book option will allow me it will suggest the upcoming days where I have not booked a desk. So I've not booked a desk on Tuesday the 1st. I'm not coming in on Tuesday because I have a customer meeting. So I just hit skip. Wednesday, I'm coming in because I do know that I work with Patricia and Matisse on a given project. So that is very important for me. So I just hit book on that one, and Thursday as well. And again, it will suggest the desk that I usually have, but at any given day, I can choose a different desk depending on the work that I need to do, making sure that coming into the office has a purpose, me sitting next to colleagues, sitting at a desk that fulfills the requirements for me to do my task the best.
Great. And I think, this was one of the policies we saw, the most efficient companies implementing quite quickly. So please plan ahead so your colleagues know when they actually can meet you if they need to meet you face to face.
Yes.
So really key to get, this behavior implemented quite quickly, actually.
Yeah.
Good. And now we've booked the desk quickly. We've planned the week. Now we could maybe change over to another aspect, which is, I want to collaborate with somebody.
Yes.
Okay.
Now I've announced my own presence or my expected presence in the application. But if I'm curious, next week, how packed will the office be? Are the people that I want to work with, are they in the office? Should we meet in the office and have the meeting in person instead of in Teams? For me to get an idea or the best information regarding those issues, I can go into the app, choose who's in the office. It will show for today who is in the office, where they are sitting. I can easily go to any other given day. So let's say on Monday, I'm curious who is in the office. Now let's take another day where I've not booked. Wednesday, set. I can see that on Wednesday, Ferris Bueller is in the office. I want to work next to Ferris Bueller. I can choose Ferris Bueller, and it will show me where Ferris has chosen to book a desk. So I can just click on the map and book a desk next to Ferris if that's the best way for me to work on that given day. So with this interactive floor map, I can easily navigate on a desk near colleagues, near a quiet zone, near a window, or wherever I find a desk most attractable for the task that I need to complete.
And maybe to follow up, what we've seen is that, many of the teams which work together out there, they meet up continuously on Teams, and maybe they even plan and brief each other on when they're going to be in the office or not. But it's not the same to the same extent across departments. So especially if you're in a cross-departmental task force, or maybe you're having a project you want to work on, in my case with marketing or anything, it's really important for me to know, when are the people who I'm not, doing my morning meetings together with, when are they in the office?
Yeah.
So here it's really valuable to actually be able to plan, to get that transparency and plan accordingly.
Yeah. And another point is, now we've discussed a lot about the office. Again, Workspace gives me the information that it's okay for me to be at home on Tuesday because the rest of my team is at home as well. So setting up a Teams meeting is okay. If every one of my colleagues is in the office, it makes sense for me to come into the office and have the meeting as well.
Okay. I think so. We went through. We used also the floor map to pinpoint where a colleague is sitting. So maybe we could turn the situation around pretty much. Mm-hmm. So I know I have 2 important meetings on Monday. I really need to get in. I would also like to nudge one of my colleagues to come into the office because I really would like to follow up on something with him or her.
Yeah. So in that use case, On Monday, I have planned to come into the office. I've spoken with you, or a colleague of mine, that we should meet up in the office on that specific day. So I can go into my Workspace app and on Monday, see where I'm sitting. Then I can choose any given desk close to where I'm sitting and say, well, there I want to book for a colleague of mine. Go to book for, and then type the name of the colleague with whom I want to pre-book that desk for.
Great.
When I've done that, my colleague will, in his or her Workspace app, see that a desk has been reserved. Of course, at any given time, you can reschedule it, you can cancel it, or you don't want to sit next to me. But again, I've just done the initial work to ensure that we have a desk, or desks for our whole team on that specific day.
Good. I think we went through the use cases we most commonly see in relation to creating this transparency needed to support collaboration, but also how can I pinpoint somebody, how can I nudge them into the office, and so forth. It circles a lot around to use a floor map to get things done efficiently and to get those people which are in the office illustrated in some way. We could maybe shift a little bit here, because I know that a lot of our customers and we ourselves are actually quite happy for having floor maps in different situations or in different places in the office as well.
Yeah. So the whole visualization of who is sitting where and that we have flexible seating up and running works beautiful on any mobile device. But having that same information exposed within the company would be of high value as well. So we definitely urge our customers and clients to showcase the floor maps on each floor or in the reception area or wherever it makes sense.
Apartment or
exactly. So you can have on a large 50-inch screen in the reception a floor map like that, which shows who is sitting where. So I can easily navigate when I come into the office, but I'm also nudged that, okay, we are running a flexible seating. I should remember to check in as well. So having all that shown in the daily office is so important. And it gives some transparency that I'm not alone in the office, and I know where to find my colleagues.
I think many of the companies we launched, they actually were quite, focused on getting this illustrated and somehow also, as this nudging reminder effect. We've gone hybrid. These are the people in the office. Maybe it changed after you booked your desk yesterday. Please be aware of that this is the situation for the day. So it's a lot about illustrating, and getting the information out there so you heighten the awareness and improve the usage of the system as well.
And again, one of the most very important topics is it's good to have an application, an app on your mobile phone, but if that application is on page 2 on your mobile phone, it's hard for you to remember to use it. Nudging it in an environment by a floor map is definitely of high value.
Yeah, good. So we changed the view. We started in the phone from the let's call it the regular employee experience that we showcased there. Afterwards, we showed a little bit on how we can illustrate floor maps. Lastly, we wanted to go in for the people which have a bit of a different need. So it could be administrative people, could also be catering suppliers or something alike.
Yeah.
If you could start there or go into that.
Yeah. Until now, I have demoed by my mobile phone. Now I've shifted to my desktop, where Workspace works pretty good as well. That will be on your PC, your Mac, your iPad, or whatever. So this would be as an ordinary booker. But as an admin, I have access to other options as well. For the canteen or the floor manager or the facility manager, it would be of high value to get an idea on the activity in the office, get an idea on throughout the week how many employees is expected to come into the office. That could be for the canteen to know how many servings should we expect throughout the week in order to minimize food waste. It could also be for those kind of buildings where you have a floor manager that service the employees on that specific floor. So if only 2 people is in that given floor, they might not need that much cater. But if it's all full, we want to make sure that we have the best environment or the best support for the employees in that office. And again, as a user, I can get an idea, okay, is it all crammed? Is it full of employees in the office on that day? So I will choose a different day to come into the office.
Good. So a little bit about, how to use data in everyday, let's call them on-top services that are provided in the office or alike. And starting the talk about data, maybe we could also extend it a little bit, because I think, one of the things we've seen is companies don't actually know what the end formula will be.
No.
They just want to learn as they go ahead. And of course, we wanted to support, our customers in learning as they go ahead as well. So maybe if you could touch a little bit upon how we support by, getting some insights into data.
Yeah, and an important item on that is as well is that we are learning with our customers how the tool should evolve. But giving our customers insight into their own data is so super important. For that to work, we have ensured that data can be exported from the system. It can export it in a format which could be imported into Microsoft Excel, Power BI, or any BI tool that the company might have, where they can take the data, look into it, see, okay, which weekday are peak hours, which sections are usually of high capacity where a lot of people choose to sit, which floors or section is not used that much, so we can address why is it that those 10 desks are not being used at all, and how can we ensure that the office, again, is seen as an outstanding office that offers the environment or the desk that our customers or our users expect.
Yeah, and this actually, there's some different levels of complexity in going hybrid. So especially if you're in a situation where you're limiting the desks, where you have a lot less desks compared to how many employees, this data is essential.
Yeah.
And we can also already see that it's the behavior or the want or need of having a desk is different throughout the departments, for instance.
Yeah.
So it's really an important way of getting knowledgeable in a better way to help your employees to actually create the surroundings or the physical spaces that they want or need to do their work.
Yeah.
Great. I think that was it for the demo part. Correct?
Yeah, I think we've got about it pretty well.
Maybe just briefly to sum up, I would like to address, how are we helping our customers? So for me, it's a lot about helping people in being efficient to do, their everyday tasks. Meaning, we really want them to provide a tool which helps them manage and plan, when they're going into the office. In doing so, it creates transparency for the other employees. This transparency we try to bridge to be able for them to collaborate in a better and more efficient way. And last but not least, we want to give you a tool where you can get smarter and adapt and find the model or the hybrid model which works for you or which works for different departments within your company. So those are, some of the cornerstones we really want to focus on. So this was a brief insight into some of the main features within our workspace solution. We really would have liked to extend this, but we want to keep these webinar sessions quite short and sweet and also quite practical. But if you have, if you want to have a demo, if you want to spar maybe with Kasper, if you want to connect with the sales department or anything, please reach out to us at sales@pronestor.com. We will make sure that you get in contact with the correct person within our company. Okay, we've been quite good in managing time here. So I don't know, I need to ask my producer here, have there come any questions? Okay, we have received a little bit of questions. Could you send them to me? Okay, so I need to prioritize. Let's take the one which is probably, the first one you think of after you bought. What experiences have companies had when implementing Workspace? Is that something you want to touch on?
Yeah, definitely. I've been involved in quite a few of our customer cases already.
Yeah.
And the feedback that we have got is that they find the tool very simple, quick, and it's easy to onboard the employees with the application. Especially, which we also addressed in the demo, it's quick for me to book a desk. It's quick for me to plan the week. And again, they find it so cool that you can create the transparency that I know, okay, Kasper is working home on Friday and on Wednesday, so I can plan my week otherwise or equally to match those expectations. But also I know when I don't have to commute an hour by train to come into office where no desk is available for me, that I can at least ensure that the desk is available for me when I do that commuting. So that takes off some stress for each of the employees as well.
I think that if I could elaborate a little bit, some of the things we've seen as well is this is a tool that our clients want mostly, a big array of people to start working with, and the tech savviness within the companies is different. So we're trying to make it as easy to launch as possible. We also provide videos on the most important, functions. We really try to. It's a Danish expression, so I don't know if everybody understands this, but to hold their hands throughout the launch process, to actually give them tools to make it easy for people to get started with using the system. And it's only if you do that you get enough usage to create the transparency to actually provide, a situation where you really support the collaboration within the company as well. Okay. Do we have time for one more? Okay, it's in Danish. Is it? I need to translate this, as we go along. Is it possible to assure distance between people in the office? Yes, in relation to distancing and in relation to other COVID-related issues such as capacity restraints and so forth, there are different ways to reach this. Maybe you can elaborate afterwards. But one thing is that you can take the individual desks out of play, meaning that you assure there is a distance through that means. You can, of course, also do capacity restraints. So saying that we suddenly have a situation where we need to go back to 50% capacity, and then you put that into the system, and people get nudged to not book if we go over that capacity.
Yeah.
Is there something else I need?
No, I think that is so important, and the max capacity can be set per floor, per section, per building, per country. So you can actually set those capacity constraints depending on where it makes sense for you to control those capacity.
Yeah, and if you think of the floor map as such, just think of a situation where you choose to pick the desk that you don't want to get booked, and you can take those out of rotation and hence through that way assure that there's enough distancing between the people.
Yeah. And another question that came up was if it was possible on the map to just click on the map and book the desk on the map. And yes, that is definitely possible on your mobile phone, where you can easily choose the specific desk, or you can reschedule it, choose another desk for yourself or for your colleagues. So that's a cool feature.
Yeah. And now we have 1 minute left, I'm getting told. Okay, so if you have any questions, please, maybe you can put up the email again. Again, please reach out to sales@pronestor.com and we will make sure to answer your questions.